Project 5 represented 6 years of research. The country getting hold of those plans will know as much about the new combat jet engines as we do. Are you in the habit of bringing top-secret documents to your home for study, Mr. Fenton?
If I decide that it's necessary, yes. I'm cleared for it, you know.
Did you take every precaution possible with those papers?
I notified security the moment I was able.
That was locking the stable after the horse was stolen. Where can I reach you if I want to get in touch with you in a hurry?
I'll be at my home until 8 o'clock. Then we're going out to dinner.
Why are you going to Dick Rand's club?
How did you know that?
We have to know a lot of things in our work. For your information, Mr. Fenton, Dick Rand's is one of the worst centers for espionage in Washington.
I didn't know that. My wife picked it because of the floor show. We're throwing a little going-away party for a friend who's flying to Madrid tonight.
Oh?
Oh, by the way, Lieutenant Delaney, in case you're concerned about the company I'm keeping, my guest is Charlie Chan.
Well, he's an old friend of mine. Give him my very best regards, will you?
I will. It was the most extraordinary thing I've ever gone through. It was quite frightening, too. Here I was in the study, putting these papers away, and suddenly this man hit me on the head.
So you never had a chance to turn around and see who attacked you?
Fortunately, no.
And when you came to, Project 5 was missing.
Exactly.
Tell me more about yourself, Barry. You determined to follow in your famous father's footsteps.
What? Oh, yes. Pop, I have a theory.
I am most certain he has. But not this time, son.
Frank, we're expecting one more guest.
I hope Dr. Kruger won't be late as usual.
And I hope I don't have another migraine headache. I was in agony last night. Fortunate for Douglas that I was.
Well, why was it fortunate, Mrs. Fenton?
I sent for Dr. Kruger. It was he who found poor Douglas unconscious on the library floor.
Well, then Dr. Kruger was at your home last night, Mr. Fenton?
Please excuse number one, son. Since taking course in criminology here in Washington, he is like small boy with a knife, always looking to cut something, even himself.
Oh. Hello, Rand.
Good evening, Mr. Fenton. Mrs. Fenton.
Mr. Rand. May I present Dick Rand? Dick, this is Charlie Chan and his son, Barry.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Chan.
My pleasure, Mr. Rand.
Our show is about to start. I hope you enjoy it.
Mr. Rand discovered the great Salvos in Europe. I'm convinced they actually do read minds.
That is scientifically unrealistic. You see, mentalists perform by means of the clever word code.
But you believe in mental telepathy, don't you, Mr. Chan?
When door of mind is unlocked, strangers bearing rich gifts are often visitors.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. It is my pleasure to present those internationally famous mentalists, the great Salvos.
You must forgive my sister and me if we don't speak English so well. Sometimes we think we say white, and it comes out black.
And the same thing with Rena here. She thinks she says no, and it comes out yes. She gets more husbands that way. No, this has nothing to do with the act, but it always looks so effective.
I'm no square pop. Watch me fool him.
Has anyone here something for Rena to read?
Yeah, try these.
What do you do for a living, young man? Pickpockets?
You can hardly expect the son of a famous Oriental detective to be a pickpocket, Carl.
Oh? Well, please tell us more about this famous Oriental detective, Rena.
His name is Charlie Chan. He is scheduled to leave by plane for Madrid on flight 17 tonight.
Is that correct, sir?
That is quite correct.
May I have your watch, please?
Yes. Hey.
Rena, tell me, what is so unusual about this watch?
It has an inscription engraved on the back of the case.
That is correct. But in what language, please?
Chinese.
That is correct, but Rena, tell me this. Can you read it? Can you give me a translation?
It says, the patient man accomplishes much. For the impatient man, there is never time enough.
Is that correct, sir?
In essence, it is quite correct.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chan. May you have a very pleasant trip to Madrid.
And now, Rena, these ladies and gentlemen, please.
Carl, you neglected to return Mr. Chan's watch.
So I have.
That's the worst of having a sister who is a mind reader.
I can get away with nothing. Now, Rena, back to this lady and gentleman.
Oh, Dr. Kruger, you just missed the best part of the show. Sit down. Dr. Kruger, this is Charlie Chan and his son, Barry.
How do you do? How do you do, sir? How's the head, Doug?
Oh, I'm afraid I'm going to live. Just a bump now.
Dr. Kruger, from your knowledge of anatomy, would you say that Mr. Fenton was struck by an unusually large or heavy person?
Why don't you ask your father?
We don't always agree.
Kindly excuse all questions of first offspring. With exception of statement, we do not always agree.
Doctor, what do you prescribe in these pills for Mrs. Fenton's headaches?
Aspirin? Why?
Do you mind if I took one? As Pop knows, I too suffer from these chronic pains.
Not at all, Barry. Help yourself.
Thank you very much.
Phone call from Mr. Chan.
Oh, thank you. Excuse me. Hello? Chan speaking.
I've got to talk to you. Can you be in my office tomorrow morning?
But I am leaving for Madrid tonight.
Well, I'd appreciate it if you could delay your trip. I can't go into details now, but it concerns your friend Douglas Fenton.
I will arrange. See you in the morning.
Oh, you're staying over in Washington then?
I'm glad perhaps we can see you again.
Might give us a chance to have lunch together sometime. I'm addicted to detective stories.
Thank you. Very curious, most excellent mind-reading act was unable to prophesy my change of plans.
You mean you really saw me slip that pill into my pocket?
Obvious as bull trying to remove teacup from china shop.
Well, if a geologist can reconstruct a whole dinosaur out of one little piece of bone, why can't I reconstruct a crime out of one piece of evidence?
But you are trying to reconstruct dinosaur out of chicken bone.
Look, Pop, this is the way I've got it figured out. Dr. Kruger gave Mrs. Fenton pills to bring on those headaches. That way he can call at the house at any time without arousing suspicion. Now, he saw to it that she would have an attack that very same night those documents were brought home.
You are not only trying to reconstruct from chicken bone, but wishbone of chicken. When you park car, come upstairs.
All right, Pop.
You okay, Pop? Well, who was he? What was he after?
Very peculiar. Nothing missing.
Well, lucky I came in when I did. It's obvious he was trying to rob you.
Broken crystal. Only serious casualty is watch.
Hello, operator?
No need to call police.
But why not? The police should be notified.
Kindly take broken watch to jeweler and have repaired first thing in morning.
But, Pop.
Good night, son.
Good night, Pop.
Hello?
Mr. Chan, this is Rena Salvo. Yes. Oh, I know it's a strange time to call you, but I must see you. No, it cannot wait. No, Mr. Chan, it could be a matter of life and death. Oh, thank you, Mr. Chan. I will be waiting for you at the north entrance of Dupont Circle Park. Right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chan. Mr. Chan? Oh, it's terrible of me to awaken you at this hour.
My curiosity regarding urgency of your request would make sleeping tonight impossible. Please, sit down.
I don't know how to begin. Well, you see, my brother is in terrible danger of losing his life because of something he knows. But we dare not go to the authorities because...
Continue, please.
I'm so terribly afraid, Mr. Chan. You see, we're not American citizens. We're refugees from Hungary, and...
Your brother.
I don't know what you mean.
Very interesting ring he wears, easily recognizable. Why did he do it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Perhaps warm drink will melt seal from your lips. Come. Tell me, why was I target tonight for 2 attempted holdups?
Don't ask me, Mr. Chan.
Then, unfortunately, I must refer a whole incident to police.
No, please. Don't do that. I'll tell you what I can. You see, what I told you in the park, part of it was true. My brother and I are in terrible trouble, Mr. Chan. And we did come from Hungary. Only our parents are still there.
And harm will come to them if you do not do as you are ordered.
Carl and I have been forced to do things against the United States. Our refusal would mean the automatic death of our parents.
Their names, please.
Hugo and Frida Salvani.
please. Write names and last known address. Now, name of person who gave orders to you and your brother.
No, I can't do that.
Why not?
Because I don't know. You've got to believe me.
If you cannot talk, perhaps I can tell you what I think. Your brother had my watch for a few moments at the nightclub. Enough time to insert something in the case.
I don't know. I was blindfolded.
Oh, please, Miss Salvo, let us not forget you are a mind reader. It was hoped I would travel to Madrid last night, where upon arrival, I am sure watch would have been removed from my person. In other words, I would have been most effective carrier pigeon.
No, please, Mr. Chan, I don't want to hear any more.
I have a very good idea now what was in my watch. Would be very simple to insert microfilm in case. Let us say microfilm of Project 5.
Lenny speaking. Jan? It's 4 in the morning.
Must have immediate information on Hugo and Frida. Salvonic. Last heard of in Debrecen, Hungary.
That's a pretty big order, Charlie. Project 5?
Correct.
Here's the reply to your inquiry about Hugo and Frida Salvonic. Hugo and Frida Salvonic located in Austrian refugee camp 103, safe and in good health. Signed, Sitka.
May I have that, Inspector? Thank you.
Do you really think you can make use of the great Salvos to find out who's behind this?
We can now try. If we fail, we are no worse off than before. Tell me, what time does cocktail performance start at Dick Grant's?
5 o'clock. In 90 minutes.
Good. We have 1 hour and a half to prepare command performance. I only hope my number one son is better actor than detective.
Really, Dick, as much as I like your place, I wish you'd extended your invitation for some other time.
My invitation? Didn't you reserve a table, Mr. Fenton? I should say not. I had to leave an important business meeting to get here. Dr. Kruger said it was some sort of a surprise party.
Kruger? Here he is now.
Doug, what could be so important that you insisted I meet you here?
I insisted. See, what is all this?
Obviously a surprise party.
Well, here comes young Chan. I've got a hunch that he'll know the answer.
Hi, folks. Am I late?
Look, Barry, what's this all about?
Well, Pop enjoyed the party so much last night, he decided to reciprocate. An old Chinese custom, you know.
His intentions may have been commendable, but if you don't mind my saying so, it's a little ridiculous.
Oh, he doesn't mind. Anyway, I'm glad he decided to do it. It'll give me a chance to show up those Salvos for what they really are.
What do you mean?
Phonies, of course. Why, if I can't prove that, my name isn't Barry Chin. Holy smokes. I forgot to give Pop his watch. I bet he's wondering where it is.
What's that? I didn't get the signal for the show to start.
Oh, here comes Pop now.
My humble apologies to you charming people for being late. But, you see, I did not have my watch.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, Pop. I've got it right here. Holy smokes. It was here a minute ago.
Introducing that internationally famous mental team, the Great Salvos. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This afternoon, my sister and I hope to prove to you that there is really nothing supernatural about mind reading. It is just ordinary mental telepathy. This has nothing to do with the act, but it always looks so effective.
I have a feeling we will now witness most entertaining performance.
Now, look here, Mr. Chan. I'm a busy man with my patients who need my attention. I haven't time for entertainment.
It will not take long now, Doctor.
And now, Rena, I see that we have some old friends at this table here. Can you tell me who they are?
Carl, I do not see them clearly. Perhaps another table.
Very well.
One moment, Mr. Salvo. I have here a message. Would you see if you can transmit its contents to your sister?
But the gentleman...
Please, sir.
Very well. Rena, the gentleman here has handed me something. What is it?
A message?
That is correct, but can you tell me the first line of this message?
Hugo and Frida. Hugo and Frida Solbanik located?
Tell me more. Think now, very carefully.
Located in refugee camp 103. Safe and sound.
Yes, that's correct, but can you give me the location of this refugee camp?
It is in Austria. In Austria.
Yes, in Austria.
Very, very excellent demonstration. One more thing, Mr. Salvo. A watch for which I and many people have rather sentimental feeling has just disappeared. Could your sister tell us where it is?
I don't know, sir.
Please try. This may be most important demonstration in her career.
Rena, Mr. Chan wishes to know the present location of a certain watch. Can you help him?
Carl, I don't think I...
Try. Try hard. Concentrate. Where is it, Rena?
It is...
Yes, Rena.
It is in Mrs. Fenton's handbag.
My dear, you must be mistaken.
May I please? Excellent demonstration.
What is this, some kind of a joke?
It is my unpleasant duty, Mr. Fenton, to inform you that your wife is the one we have been looking for. Obviously, she's the head of the espionage ring who stole Project 5.
Joyce. You?
Mrs. Fenton, you're under arrest.
Mr. Chan, my sister and I are ready to go with you now.
I shall wait until you finish your performance.
Thank you, Mr. Chan. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I must have your help. Has anyone here a letter, a postcard, $1,000 bill?
Pop, how did she do it? Was it really mental telepathy?
Perhaps. And again, maybe she heard the watch ticking.
But it wasn't running.
Then it must have been mental telepathy. As I've often told you, my number one son, when the door to one's mind is left unlocked, strangers bearing rich gifts are often visitors.